Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is that you're watching. We've had a lot going on here at Salisbury Farms. It's rained like 2.5 inches over the past couple days. With still more rain to come. Possibly another day or two from now it's supposed to rain. We've just been getting ready for harvest, and we've had a lot to do. We got the combine back finally. We had the transition cone go bad on that, had a few holes in it. Sent it off to Berkey's. They got it all ready for us. It is done. It is back. My phone has been blowing up like crazy. We had a flat tire on the 7600. This is just our auger tractor. It'll be sitting on our 80-foot auger up to the wet holding bin. But we had a flat on it. Had a deer antler go through it about this big, and we got that fixed. We are still in the process of fixing the mower. Dad finished mowing finally and busted off a hub. So tipped the mower over. Wasn't a good time, but he is on his way to actually grab that now because they finally got it in. So we're gonna get that fixed just so we can get it put away. We got the grain cart out now. 305 and the 8270 are all done, hooked up. 8270 is on the strip till bar. 305 obviously is on this grain cart. Right now I need to get this grain cart greased and it'll be done. Both the heads are done. The corn head and the flex draper. Fertilizer wagon, we ended up buying another one. We went ahead and sandblasted it, and then I slip plated the inside of this thing so that that fertilizer just runs down. It doesn't get stuck up there. It is very slick. So we just graphited it. We got the strip till bar to get ready yet. We've got some dryers that we probably should attend to. The east dryer is our biggest problem, and I don't know what it is, whether it's a bearing bad in one of the fans or what, but it constantly trips out and just shuts off. So I'm usually running the west dryer alone during the fall, which I don't know if it'll be that big of a deal this year because the corn is pretty dry. It's drying down pretty quick. We may only be running one, I don't know. But either way, we need to check a little on those, see if we don't need to replace a motor. Ripper is done. We just put some tires on it, greased it. Everything looked good there. Ammonia bar. Holy cow. The ammonia bar, we thought was going to be just a simple process. We went over it a little bit the year before. And, we thought it'd be fine. All it did was pull, for one fall and sat in the shed. Well, oh boy, did we have issues. We pulled this thing out and we didn't like the job that it was doing. Since we're running it behind the strip till bar, it tends to kind of throw dirt where we don't want it to off of our strips, or sometimes it digs into the strips on the closing disc system, but we've got it off right now. But there's a closing disc system on this, and we didn't like the job it was doing, so we re-bearinged it, re-bushinged it, and then ended up ordering drag chains just to kind of fill in any gaps that it leaves after the strip till bar. And then we got into it and started changing knives that we seen were bad. This axle is all twisted and not looking good. The hoses, so we ended up busting a hose a couple of years ago, and we could have sworn we replaced them all. Well, they're actually due to be changed this year. So we went ahead and ordered all the hoses. Those have got to be put on. You only get about 6 years out of the hoses. So, and then you got to replace them. That's just code standard, whatever, for any ammonia bar. You can get 10-year hoses, but we get the 6-year ones. They're cheaper. And then Dad went to go put this away, and I remember hooking it up. I said, man, this jack is junk. This thing is junk. We need to get a new one. He said, it works. It's been working. Well, as you can see, we got a brand new jack because he went to go and hook the dumb thing, and it busted off and hit the ground. So he had to pick that back up and drive a couple hours away, actually, about an hour away, to pick up a new jack, because for some reason nobody has really heavy duty jacks that turn from the top. They're all from the side, which I think a side would have worked here, but he got the correct one, so that's all that matters. Anyway, that was a huge project that really should have taken no time at all. Yeah, and then we've actually got a strip freshener. We bought a 1770 NT planter frame, and that'll be arriving sometime this winter or after fall. And then we're going to be putting on Yetter strip freshener units onto that bar. I think I'm going to paint it black first, because the bar is green right now. Obviously, it's a John Deere planter bar. I think I'm going to paint it black so that it matches the Yetter units, but we're going to be building our own strip freshener, putting some liquid on it so that we can do 32, 28%, whatever guys want. And then we're going to be not only doing our own strips, but some custom strips for neighbors, and hopefully more on from that. But that is in the works as well. Other than that, we are pretty much ready for harvest. There are some guys that have already started, got, you know, a couple hundred acres out here and there. Granted, it's been 34% corn, and I don't think anybody's really started on beans, although this field of beans I think would go. And we might actually knock those out first. We've definitely got some corn on our sand that could go now. It's probably under 24% easily. So that's what we kind of shoot for, around the 24 or 26, 7%. Anything under that obviously is welcome. It's better than 35 to 40%. No, we are ready. We're ready to go. After I get this greased, we could honestly head out tomorrow. I'm gonna go check the rain gauge, because we have had a ton of rain. It just wouldn't stop. They kept saying, oh, you know, there'll be some rain here and there throughout the day, and yesterday it didn't stop raining the entire day, and then it stormed last night. Oh Lord. Well, that says 4 1/4, and that says 3 3/4. So I don't know which one to believe. I think this might have had some rain left in it, so I'm going to go with 4 inches, split the difference there. So we've had 4 inches of rain in the last 2 days. So that's going to keep us out of the field for a little bit. Yes, it was extremely dry before, but that much water in that little time, good land. Maybe next week, hopefully. But anyway, I just wanted to give a little update. I'm not really doing much today. I haven't been recording because it's been raining, and we've just had a ton going on. So I kind of just been getting it done. I've had a lot going on. Buying a house, I bought a new house, and you know, getting all that paperwork done. Worried about getting everything moved and everything. It's just it's been crazy. So yeah. Anyway, hopefully harvest will come soon enough, and we can start making some videos on harvest. That is the best time of the year. And for those of you guys that have been watching the videos, I appreciate it. You know, thanks for subscribing, liking, commenting, whatever you do. You know, I really appreciate it. I'm just doing this kind of for fun as a hobby, and that's why some of these videos aren't, you know, I'm not getting them out every 4 days like I'd like to, because there are a lot of things that take priority over it. However, I am trying to get better. It's just, it takes time. The editing and just taking the video in general, it takes time. Like right now, I just walked around for 10 minutes talking when I should have been greasing this cart. So we're gonna get back to it, but anyway, that's gonna be a video, a short one, but just a little update on what's going on here. Oh, what's going on, everybody? Today we've got the trucks to take for inspection. Got a little sticker here on the windshield, says 9/23. That would mean September of 2023. That was our last safety inspection. And after September, DOT will no longer like our presence on the road and give us a ticket if that is expired. So we are headed just a little bit north of here to get not only the truck, but both of our trailers, the dump trailer and the Wilson and the baby truck and its trailer, all inspected today. We're We're just gonna knock them all out. That way they're just done. We've got a little bit of work left, you know, service the trucks, check out the dryers, clean the orifices on them. Little just odds and ends that really won't take that long. And then I think we are going to fire up the combine and take out about 20, maybe 30 acres of corn around the house here, because it's looking pretty dry. I think we can open this place up, and then we may switch over, wipe out this 120 acres of beans, and we've got a lot of beans that'll go. And I think the corn is getting down as well, so everything's gonna be ready to go here all at the same time. Kind of scary, but it's been raining. We've had good opportunities to get ready. I think we're ready, so we're gonna fly it. Well, we got the truck tested. I went ahead and got one more load of lime. It's the last load I needed here. I'm just down to a few more loads for our neighbor. And luckily, the closest pit is starting to get a pile again, because guys are getting in the field, obviously. So I've been able to get quite a few loads here recently. I'm gonna drop this trailer off to get the Wilson hopper bottom put on. And we're gonna see if we can't, I don't know, pick a few acres of corn. Haven't really seen anybody running, and maybe it's a lot wetter than we think it is, but we're gonna try it anyway. At least that's my plan. I don't know what Dad's plan is. Haven't really been home to talk to him, but that's my plan. Got those off. I think we'll definitely go over, put some more grease on this plate before I hook up to that Wilson. Now that I've got that done, like I said, I've only got a few loads for my neighbor yet. I'll probably keep the Wilson on. Yes, hello Maggie dogs. Looks like you had just enough chain.
No, I was short. I had to go back to Henry and pick up the chain.
Oh, you were short?
Yep, this much.
Seriously?
Yes. I picked up the vertical auger for the unloading.
Is that bad?
I think it'll make it, but I'm not going to guarantee it'll make the fall.
Sure you don't want to just change it now?
No. I think it'll make it.
But is that all you found? I mean, you checked the water pump?
Water pump was fine. I haven't gotten over it all that much because I got into that chain, but
Well, we knew that needed done.
yeah, that had to happen. True, because if we're going to run here at home,
Right, we can just set up and run. And then if it rains, it rains. If it don't,
well,
we can still take the time to service tomorrow.
yeah, if I get this around, which you should be back by then, if I get this around,
Yeah,
it wouldn't take long to set the auger, and we could just run into the wet holding bin,
that's what I mean.
plug us up for tomorrow if we do run.
Yeah, we could set the baby truck up and just run.
I wouldn't mind doing something. I'm going nuts now. Time to go.
Wow, that could have been bad. I mean, not really, but I went to press the brake and my foot was like this, and the lip of my boot caught the accelerator while I was going down like that, and yeah, about slammed into that kingpin, which I gotta do anyway. But had the plate been underneath the kingpin, that trailer could have came up over top of the back of the truck, and yeah, that would have been fun. We're gonna take this up, get this tested now. I was gonna do it in the morning because I really just wanted to get started here at the farm, get the corn opened up around the house, possibly even switched over to the beans, see what we could do with them, see where they're at. I just want to know where everything's at. Might be a mistake, Could be raining by the time I get back. We'll find out. It is finally happening. We got rain all the way wrapped around us. We don't care. Let's try it here. We're putting the corn head on. And we're gonna pick some corn. All we've got done is just the auger put up. We're gonna see if she'll run anyway. The first day is always the worst. That's when everything breaks, or you find out what's breaking and what's not gonna run. So we're gonna find out quick here at night. We were ready to go in the morning. Our trailer works. Oh yeah, just clears that stalk devastator. Now we just got to pull those pins on the bottom here. We got to pull all these pins, so we got to drop it down. Get off of there. Go. See if I can even remember how to run this thing. Please, Mr. Weatherman. Don't rain. We don't need any rain. We've had plenty. Well, it's official. Yeah, I think he's made it around the barnyard anyway, so that's a good sign. Nothing's, well, I'm just not gonna say anything. It's going okay. And he's still picking corn. So I think we're gonna go ahead and pick corn until, I don't know, at least until this storm gets to us, where it's lightning and looks pretty nasty. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and pick for the rest of the night. Maybe fill the grain cart, which I should probably untarp the grain cart, but I don't want to until I know that it's not gonna rain. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow once I got some daylight. This GoPro doesn't really do very good in the dark, so, and I don't think we're gonna run that long. So we'll see you tomorrow. Well, good morning. It rained again last night. See the water all over the drive there. So I don't think we're gonna get started very early this morning with the combine, but that's okay. We just wanted to get the grain cart full, which we did last night. Got this place opened up around here. But we got more things to do. We got to get the dryers ready yet. Air system's got to be gone over. Wet holding bins got some odds and ends that need done before we're really ready for corn anyway. Beans, we could pick beans if we wanted to, just get the auger set up to a bin and go, but we do have a little bit to go yet. We were kind of banking on that it was going to rain today. We've seen the radar, that's why we just wanted to get opened up, make sure everything was going to run properly, which we've already got a few things to fix. Header height control on the corn head there, not working correctly. My scale, I could not get it to turn on last night, so I don't know if I plugged in the wrong thing or what, but we got to figure that one out. Because I've got some power cables here, but I just don't know if I plugged them in correctly. Maybe that needs to go here. Is that Digistar? Well, looky there. That would be why it's not working. Because I didn't even have it plugged in. Well, that was an easy fix. I thought I had that plugged in. I guess not. Cart is saying 52,800 pounds on there. We picked 3 acres, something like that. 56 pounds in a bushel. By 56, 944 bushel. Divide that by 3. It's 315 bushel an acre. Maybe you said 3.5 acres. 52.9. Divide that by 56. Divide that by 3.5. 269. Yeah, that's so. He said the monitor was reading about 273 around the house here at 20%. So not dry, but 269, 5 points of dry. I don't know how many bushel you take off for each point, but that I really was not expecting that. Granted, we only got 3.5 acres picked, and I know we have fields that are going to be 200 because they were sand or way too hard of clay that just dried out and it didn't get a good start. This looked amazing all year, and I don't know how either without any rain. But if we've got some fields that are running in that 250, 255, 260 range dry, holy cow! I will sit here and say that I know nothing about farming because I don't know how that's possible. I don't know. Either way, we're happy with that. If it truly is 255 bushel around the house here somewhere in there dried down, that would be fantastic. Okay, so we ended up getting the header controls figured out. It was just a sensor on the right side of the corn head that just needed a little bit of an adjustment. So that's already done. As far as the scale, you see, and I just had to plug that in. That's done. So now we're just going to go ahead and get started on the dryers and our grain handling system. That's what needs to be done now. We've had our lunch. We're good to go. I'm going to climb up in there, clean some orifices, get the air system set up, make sure it's going to run. We've got enough corn on the grain cart that we can go ahead and dump it, get it into the dryer, see if we can't get all this stuff running correctly. That's the plan for now.
Oh, now, hey, oh, now, listen. now, listen. You're not helping at all. No, you're not helping at all. You're not helping at all. Jeepers criminy.
It's amazing how that big of a weed can grow in that small of a little crack. I was just thinking
Oh,
of these.
jeepers.
Oh, you didn't see this one?
No, I sure
thought
didn't.
These are worse. I don't care about those. This is the one I was worried about.
Well, yeah, this is a big one.
Oh, look at that sucker.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Which this is 6 inch, you said?
Yeah.
This we could get.
Where today?
China.
Oh, gonna have the. I think we're gonna have this plug in.
Ah, with the auger.
Ooh, they sound bad.
They don't sound good. I would say the bearings are definitely bad on those motors. I'm gonna go ahead and put those caps back on, and then I'll clean these orifices, and then I'll hop over there and clean those. Well, we had the guy from AgView call us back, and he ended up having a 20-foot stick of that 6-inch so that we can replace that flighting, or that tube on that flighting for our dryer here. So he's gonna go ahead and get hooked up to the car trailer and go pick up that stick. I'm gonna stick around here and finish up these dryers. And basically all we were doing is we took the caps off of the gas lines up in the dryer, and we turned the gas on just to get the rust and crap out of it. And then we just turned them on for just a split second with fans on. And now we're gonna be capping those back up. And I'm gonna be cleaning the orifices and, like I said, greasing the fans. So on the inside of this dryer, we got two 15-horse motors with 2 fans. And then upstairs is where I gotta do my work right now. Those have gotta be greased, of course. But this little trap door here above my head, I gotta climb up in there put those caps back on, clean the orifices, and have some fun climbing this. This is the end of the gas line, so there's a pilot light inside of this. This is where that fan is blowing. That gas runs through there and gets lit by that pilot, and it blows hot air into these walls here, or into the center here, and blows the air out through the walls. These walls get filled with a thin layer of corn, and that's how this dryer works. And it starts cooling down here when it drops below this floor, and basically this meter starts taking the corn out of the walls, so the wetter corn just keeps falling down and down, and it gets drier as it comes down here. And once it gets to here, it starts cooling and then pumped out. It gets shot out to our bins. The worst part about doing 3.5 acres or so yesterday is that I was sitting in the grain cart. We were getting corn out of the field, and now it's just all I want to do today. And here we are doing this instead, which that's all going to be done. I just wish I wasn't. It's like going and getting ice cream just to look at it. You get one little lick, and then you're like, we'll save the rest for later. It just doesn't work. So to clean out these orifices, I just kind of gotta stick this rod down in here. There's a little itty bitty tiny hole that is basically the exact thickness of this rod where that gas comes out. And all I want to do is find that little orifice and clean it out with the rod, just like that. Yeah, this really is quite the grain handling system. I mean, you've got our wet holding bin, which is standing right here. You got an auger running up from the wet holding bin to each dryer, and then that grain is going to hit the top of this cone and send it out to the walls. The grain never comes inside of here. And these walls, obviously you can see, have holes in them. They're just a mesh wall. And all the corn will fill these walls. And then once it's filled, that's when we can turn on the burners and the fans. You don't want to turn it on when it's not filled, obviously, because then you're just throwing hot air into the atmosphere and you're really not doing anything. So you got to make sure they're filled at all times. And so what we've got set up here is we've got sensors on the inside of the dryer above this cone, that it's got a top sensor and a bottom sensor. So it'll start filling all the way until it reaches that top sensor, and then once it hits that pressure plate sensor, it'll shut off. And then as the metering's going and running out of the dryer into our bins, once it drops below that certain level, say this is another pressure sensor, and there's one up there. It'll get to here, shut off. As it's coming down, it'll hit that sensor, or it'll come off of that sensor, and it'll fire up the augers from the wet holding bin, and it'll start filling until it hits that pressure sense again that shuts off automatically. So it's all automatic, so we don't got to sit here and keep an eye on it. It is all automatic, and then we've got other pressure switches, like if it overfills the boot down here, say the air system goes down and it overflows, it'll automatically shut everything down. Say one of these burners goes out on this fan, it'll automatically shut everything down. If a fan goes out, it'll just automatically shut it all down. It's got a bunch of sensors on it and stuff like that, to where it just, if we're gone and something happens, it just kills the whole system, shuts everything off to where we don't have a mess on our hands. But you got to have everything in the correct settings, or else it will not do that. And there was one year that in order to fill this bin in particular, I believe, or this dryer, excuse me, you can't have it in automatic while it's filling until it gets over the pressure switch, and then you can turn it into automatic. So this one you got to watch really to fill, which we do on both of them. But basically the first time of the year that we get this one filled, you got to really watch it. And I was in a hurry. We were all the way south of Lakin at our furthest farm away, and I knew he was waiting on me, but I needed to get this one filled. And I was filling it, and I got it full, And I turned the dryer on, turned the metering on, the whole 9 yards, and I kept it in manual instead of automatic. And I thought, man, when I was driving away, I got about, I don't know, halfway there. I thought I might have left that in manual and didn't turn that on automatic, which means it'll overflow this dryer and never shut off. So I had to call my mother, who thankfully was home, and I said, can you do me a favor? Can you run out to that dryer and make sure that I flip that switch onto automatic? She runs out here. Of course, there's like 50 bushel of corn on the ground spilling out of the top of the dryer. So we could have had a major mess on our hands had no one else been here. But thankfully she was. I had to run her through what button or what switch to press, but we got her taken care of. And then I had corn to clean up off of the ground. Again, if you have any sort of grain handling system, you're gonna have corn on the ground. I don't care who you are, because something always goes wrong. Well, I ended up finishing everything, and I kind of just been waiting on Dad to get back. So I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and clear this out of here. I just need to get a few odds and ends off here. And this is that boot that goes on that air system on the bottom side of those dryers. I'm gonna go ahead and get it out. Usually it goes a lot smoother when you got two people, because you kind of need somebody to guide it while it's coming out of here and to guide it going on. But like I said, he's not here, so I really kind of just want to get this on. So now,
Sharp under there.
probably, yeah. We're cut.
Make sure that flighting's on there.
Yep. Some of you might be asking, why didn't we do this over the summer? What were you guys doing? Well, I was sick for like 6 weeks, and he was building a car, so we really didn't get anything done this summer.
Roll that back over this way.
Pin these.
Center punch them.
Yeah.
I would. You're on a round tube.
Yeah, I'll walk all over the place.
Yes, you go right on, right around the side of it.
Do you want to paint this before we do this? This ain't very big, so.
No, don't break it. I think you just did.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us for the night anyway. We might tinker on a few things here and there, but once it gets dark, this GoPro really, I mean, it just doesn't show anything. So the low light is pretty bad on it. So we're going to call it a day there, a long day. And we should be picking corn tomorrow. I'm really excited to see what the numbers do here. Appreciate you watching. Feel free to subscribe. It's all free. Comment, like, whatever you want. Catch you in the next one.